The center court at Sobeys Stadium fell silent. 10,000 fans held their breath, their eyes fixed on the young woman who had just done the impossible. Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old from Quezon City, had conquered the ghost that had haunted her for 7 long months. She had avenged her Australian Open defeat. She had silenced the American who once celebrated her bagel. And she had done it in front of a sold-out crowd that had bought every single ticket in 30 minutes. The scoreboard read 6-4, 6-4. The woman who had once humiliated her was now walking off the court in disbelief. But what happened next shocked everyone. The tennis world erupted. The Filipino fan army celebrated into the night, and Eala had just proven that her reign was only just beginning. Melbourne, Australia, January 19, 2026. The Australian Open had just begun, and the tennis world was about to witness one of the most stunning turnarounds of the season. Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina sensation, walked onto court 6 to face Alycia Parks in her first Australian Open main draw appearance. The crowd was electric. Philippine flags decorated the stands in all directions. Hundreds of fans spilled into the bar overlooking the sideline and lined the baseline ledge, waving flags and chanting, "Let's go Alexandra," between points. The umpire repeatedly pleaded for quiet as the noise swelled. Eala was in complete control. She dominated the first set, winning it in just 34 minutes with a devastating 6-0 bagel. Parks looked helpless, missing shots, double faulting, and visibly shaken by the atmosphere. All signs pointed to her winning in straight sets, Parks would later admit. But something changed. In the second set, Parks regrouped. She steadied her serve, began hitting her spots, and became more aggressive. She went up 3-0, and though Eala fought back to tie it 3-3, Parks showed composure and won the next 3 games to take the set 6-3. The match turned completely. Parks won the third set 6-2, completing one of the most improbable comebacks of the tournament. The crowd was stunned. Eala was devastated. She had been so close, yet so far. It was heartwarming, Eala said after the match. But it also made today harder. I know a lot of people were rooting for me. The loss would haunt her for months. She had been overwhelmed by the moment, by the pressure, by the weight of an entire nation's expectations. But Eala was a different player now. She had grown stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. And when the opportunity for revenge arrived in Toronto, she was ready. The journey from Melbourne to Toronto was a transformation. Eala had used that loss as fuel. She had trained harder, refined her game, and developed the mental fortitude that would define her career. The results were undeniable. In just 7 months, she had surged from world number 49 to a career-high number 20 ranking. She had won her first WTA Tour title at the Mubadala DC Open, defeating a murderer's row of champions. Olympic gold medalist Zheng Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, world number 10 Alina Svitolina, four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, and finally, world number 3 Jessica Pegula in a rain-delayed final that showcased her resilience. Every opponent she faced in Washington was either a major champion or a Grand Slam finalist. The numbers told the story of a player who had arrived. Her wins over Svitolina and Pegula brought her tour-leading total of top 10 victories to 7, tied with Alina Svitolina and Elena Rybakina. She was the first player to defeat the top 3 seeds en route to claiming a WTA title since Barbara Krejcikova at Dubai in 2023. The transformation was complete. And when she stepped onto center court in Toronto, she was no longer the nervous teenager who had been overwhelmed by the moment. She was a champion. The National Bank Open was more than just a singles tournament for Eala. It was a chance to reunite with one of the sport's greatest legends. Eala and Venus Williams had received the final wildcard entry into the doubles main draw. The Filipino-American duo had first partnered at the Bad Homburg Open in June, where they reached the quarterfinals before falling to Olivia Nichols and Teresa Mihalikova. They were supposed to reunite in Washington, but Eala had withdrawn from the doubles event to focus on her singles campaign. It was a decision that paid off spectacularly. Now, in Toronto, they were back. I'm really excited to be playing doubles with her again, Eala told reporters. Every opportunity one get to share the court with her is super cherished. She's got a great mentality, and there's so much I can learn from her. She added, with the Filipino community and, of course, the amazing fans that she has, I think it will be a great atmosphere. The partnership was a symbol of Eala's rapid rise. She was now sharing the court with one of the sports icons, learning from a player who had dominated the game for decades. Tournament director Carl Hale captured the moment perfectly. Venus is a legend of the sport, while Alexandra's popularity continues to soar, as does her level on court. It's going to be a special moment when the two step on a Sobeys Stadium for the first time as a partnership. Toronto, Canada, August 2026. The center court at Sobeys Stadium was packed. 10,000 fans, most of them Filipino, had bought every single ticket in 30 minutes. It was a scene unlike anything the tournament had ever seen. We've never seen a player ranked outside the top 5 have this type of effect, tournament director Carl Hale admitted. Eala walked onto the court to face Alycia Parks, the woman who had humiliated her in Melbourne. But this was a different Eala. She was the number 25 seed, the world number 20, the player who had just won a WTA 500 title. Parks, ranked number 68, had to earn her place by defeating Victoria Jimenez Casanseva in the first round. The match was a battle of contrasts. Parks was the fastest women's server in history, sharing the record with Venus Williams at 129 miles per hour. Eala was the player who had learned to handle the pressure of a sold-out crowd, the player who had embraced the support of her Filipino fan army. The atmosphere was electric. The chants of Eala echoed through the stadium. And when the match ended, Eala had done it. She had avenged her defeat, winning 6-4, 6-4. The tennis world was stunned. The victory also set up a potential third-round showdown with world number 6 and reigning Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova, who had defeated Eala twice before. But that was a challenge for another day. The victory over Parks was more than just a win. It was a statement. Eala had proven that she could handle the pressure, overcome the ghosts of the past, and deliver on the biggest stage. But it was the reaction of the tennis world that truly demonstrated the magnitude of her achievement. The Filipino fan army had taken over Toronto. Organizers projected that 8 out of 10 fans in the stands would be of Filipino heritage. The atmosphere was unlike anything the tournament had ever seen. Eala herself was overwhelmed by the support. It's nice to see that the Filipino community is really showing up and they're enjoying tennis, she said in her pre-tournament press conference. The Eala effect had become a global phenomenon. It had started in Miami in 2025, where Eala became the first wild card in WTA history to defeat 3 major champions in straight sets at a single tournament. It had exploded at Wimbledon, where she upset the defending champion Iga Swiatek in the 3rd round. And now, in Toronto, it had reached a fever pitch. American tennis star turned podcaster Andy Roddick called it Eala Mania. Eala Mania is fun. When you have watch parties in arenas around your country for a 4th-round match, I'm in, he said. The phenomenon was a testament to Eala's impact on the sport. She had not only broken barriers for Philippine tennis, but she had also shown that the sport could grow beyond its traditional markets. As she said in an interview, "It's important to me because I don't see a lot of Filipinos on the worldwide tennis stage." From the bagel that humiliated her to the victory that avenged her, Eala proved that champions aren't defined by their defeats. They're defined by how they rise from them. She walked into the lion's den and emerged a conqueror. The tennis world is shocked, but the Philippines is celebrating. Eala Mania is real, and it is only just beginning.